Hey, shalom to the hopeful elect. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone who teach the truth and rule well. This is the brother Yatab Yawa'Allah coming back from the GMS SF Bay Area camp. And I got a quick lesson today. All right, Lord's will is edifying. But just going in on this clip, all right, which is making rounds. I seen a couple elders do lessons on it, a couple brothers. But I guess this is from a couple months ago, and the General Yohana, he was on a podcast, all right, and he makes a statement, which I want to get into. I want to grab a couple precepts, but it just highlights the mentality of the majority of our people, all right, that don't know what's going on, or they don't want what is promised. All right, now let me play this and we'll get into it.
15% of the land mass of the United States, turn it over to black people and call it Black America. Let them establish a government, get the CIA out of our neighborhoods, and we'll migrate the hell up out of here, give you every beautiful city, and we'll go build an empire like you've never seen before. Solution, problem solved.
I'm opposed to reparations, but
pretty much you heard what he said, all right? One of his answers, okay, is to get 15% of America, all right, give it to black people, let black people establish their own empire, all right, which, all right, this is going off, all right, this is not understanding the promises, and this is not the answer to our problems, all right, this, and that's a lack of understanding of what's going to happen to this place, all right. Now let me grab this real quick. This is Micah 2:10, and we go into this all the time. This is one of my favorite verses. All right, and you have to understand, we're in a captivity here. All right, this America. All right, it was a big experiment, if you will. All right, but it was an experiment to put our people in one of the worst situations they could be. All right, and that's a mental slavery. But nonetheless, when you go into prophecy, all right, when you know what's going to happen, all right, what does the scripture say? Scripture say Babylon is going to be done away with. There's not going to be anything here. All right. So understanding that, what's our answer? We don't want anything here. We don't want 15% of the land. All right. We want this place to be destroyed. And what do we want? We want what's promised by Yahweh Shem Al Shai. And that's what? To go back into our land. All right. To be set up, on high with Yahweh Shai, being joint heirs, in the rulership, the kingdom of Yasharallah, okay, but in our land, and basically ruling over the whole earth. But first, what has to happen? This has to be destroyed. All right, now Micah 2:10, it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." This isn't our rest. No matter what Esau, even if that was an idea for him to do, which Esau's not going to give up the land that he took. All right, Jake is mad, but it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." And how do we arise? First, it's spiritually. All right, getting into the mentality that this ain't it. This isn't the end all be all. This is a place for us to fulfill the curses, fulfill our captivity, and ultimately, if we be of the elect, to get up out of here. All right. It says, "And depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted." And that's the main thing. So if we were to get 15%, this place is still polluted. All right. You have Esau. Let's just say he wasn't into anything in that 15%. Let's say we had all our own things and we were producing all our things, and whatnot. You still have Esau right next door polluting everything around you. All right, in that other 85%. So it makes no sense. Esau has to go down. The one that's polluting, the cancer of the earth, has to be taken out of power. The earth has to be healed. But right now, it is polluted. So there is nothing here. There is no consolation prize. All right. It says, "It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." Okay. So this place, if we were to remain here, and you see, these are Israelite leaders, which is crazy. All right, but at the same time, it's not, because our people are bugged the hell out. All right. But you see, all right, if we were to stay here, we'd be through. All right. The scriptures say if the Lord didn't speed up the times, no flesh would be saved because of how much pollution, all right, is going on here. All right. And if the Lord doesn't take Esau out of power, he doesn't destroy America, nobody will be here. All right. But you want a place, all right, you want a place where you can stand, basically live next to Esau. He can have 85%, you have 15%, and build the empire. And what do you think, Esau is just going to let you build that empire? Jake is out their damn mind. All right. 2 Peter 3:10, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So this is what's going to happen. All right. Because it's polluted, because of prophecy, because it just has to go. This place is going to be burnt up. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, understanding prophecy, knowing what the Lord is going to do to America. All right. It says, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? How are we living? Are we looking to invest here, get land and establish an empire here? All right. No, we're trying to get the hell up out of here. This is the point, verse 12, looking for and hasting. All right, we're looking for and we're hasting, meaning, we're rushing this along until the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So we're looking for the day that the Lord destroys this place. Nevertheless, we according to his promise, all right, we're looking forward to the promises of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We're not trying to set up our own thing. All right. And what's the promise? It says, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's the promise. All right. And it's not a new heaven and a new earth, so to speak, as brand new. It's renewed. And why will it be renewed? Because the fire will cleanse it. All right. Taking Esau out of power will cleanse it. And we'll go back to what? Our land. All right. The most fertile land over there in the land of Israel. That's the Lord's favorite land. All right. But here it is. You want to set something up in America in a place that's about to be destroyed. It's crazy. All right. But again, then it's not. Jake is just bugged the hell out. All right. It says, nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's what we look forward to. We're not trying to establish anything here in this place that's already destroyed. All right. It's literally written to be destroyed. Okay. Now let me grab this. I just want to get straight to the point. Yeah, it goes into what's going to be here. I'll just read a little bit of it. All right. It says, let me start from verse 5. All right. Isaiah 34:5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Okay. Well, Slakia, verse 4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the tree. All right, which is going into this nuclear destruction. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Salakia, it says, verse 5, Isaiah 34:5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become a burning pitch. And again, there's nothing that's going to be here. All right, this place is going to be utterly destroyed. But here it is. You want, these are leaders, supposed leaders of our people, trying to set up in a place that's about to become an utter desolation, burning pitch. All right. Showing you again that, you have so-called leaders that, you know, are false teachers, false leaders. All right. It says, it shall not be quenched day nor night. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant, the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stone of emptiness. All right. Meaning what? You're not going to be able to see, all right, anything that used to be here. It's a line of confusion. And there's only going to be unclean a beast here. All right. After the destruction, after, that smoke eventually dies out, the only thing here is going to be unclean creatures. Nobody's going to be living here. And you're not going to be able to tell one city from the next, one state from the next. It's literally going to be a desert. All right. But this is what Jake is talking about, getting 15% of and establishing an empire. Jake is out their damn mind. All right. Again, this place is headed for a destruction. All right. The Lord has already said exactly what's going to come to this place. All right. And what the scriptures say, there's no healing for Babylon. No matter what they want to do, if let's just say Esau did decide to do that out of a whim, it ain't going to save this place. All right. Which we know Esau is not, he's sticking to his plan, which the Lord has him set up to do on the left-hand side. So there's no way he's going to, do anything like this. But nonetheless, even if he did, there's no saving Babylon. All right. Babylon is become a desolation. All right. And again, this is why we look for those new heavens and the new earth. All right. We look for a renewed earth. And we look to be what? Placed in our land. All right. Jeremiah, let me get this first in Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14:1. Okay. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. We don't need 15% of a desert. All right. The Lord is going to set us in our own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, which are the Israelite foreigners, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. And to possess them is these heathen in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in that day the Lord shall give thee rest. All right, this is not our rest. That's when we get our rest. From thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. And thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Because we're going to be in our own land. This city is going to be done, ceased, dead, destroyed. Again, the Lord is going to put us in our own land. We don't need anything from these Edomites. I mean, yeah, they're going to cough up their riches. All right. Hey, but we're going to take them. Okay. We don't want 15%, 50%, even 100% of a place that's going to be destroyed. We are not looking up to set up a system here with these bodies, with this. What are you going to do? Set up an empire? What? We're still in these bodies. You're going to go by way of the law, statutes, and commandments. Eventually, Jake's going to go off again because we're living in these bodies. All right. And again, you have Esau right next to you. He's polluting everything around you. You got the Moabites, Elam, Jake is out their damn mind. You're just going to have all these heathens still doing what they do, but you got 15%. There's no way Jake is not going to be able to, do anything together being in these bodies. All right. Even the elect are going to be beamed up and their bodies changed. So what the hell are you talking about? All right. This is why, we stick to prophecy and we stick and we keep asking the Lord to make Jerusalem the praise in the earth. All right. We ask Yahweh Shem Yahushai to save us and destroy this place and establish the kingdom. Okay. Not here. We're not asking for anything here. Okay? Now I'll end off on this. This is Jeremiah 23. And uh yep. I'll start at verse 6. It says, in his days, Judah shall be saved. It says, actually, you know what? Let me just start from the top. It says, woe be the past unto the pastors, Jeremiah 23 and 1, that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. And when you send out a message where you can have Jake create an empire here, you're scattering because you're sending a false message. That's not what the Lord is sent is telling us to give to our people. All right. The Lord has given us that mentality to get the hell up out of here. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, power of Israel, against the pastures that feed my people, you have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. Yeah, and the scriptures say that, these people's mouths must be stopped because it's just spewing a whole bunch of madness. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries where I have driven them, America being one of those countries, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Not here. It says, and I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. And that's here, starting here. All right, we are not lacking because we have the truth. We have 100% truth by the real shepherds. All right, from the apostles and elders on down. Okay? And what is that? There is a place where we can rest. There is a kingdom, okay? But it's not here. This place has to be destroyed. We have to have our bodies changed. Yahushua has to make his return, okay? And Yahushua has to set this up. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which broughteth up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, which broughteth up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Again, we are getting out of this place. Lord's will, we be of that number. We are getting out of America. We don't want 15%. We don't want any type of percentage of this place that's about to be destroyed. All right? The Lord is going to save us out of this place, out of the north country, okay? Out of America, and we shall dwell in our own land, back in our home. Why you want to settle for anything less than our home? All right? Showing you that Jake is bugged the hell out. All right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's, again, seeing a lot of brothers and elders doing lessons on this, and this is supposed to be our some of our leaders, which this ain't a leader. All right, this is a false teacher, spewing madness, not going by way of what the scriptures say. All right, we don't want anything from America. We don't want to be here. All right, we want to go home. All right, and the Lord promised that. But yeah, Lord's will, this is edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, and above.